music wise, I'm an introvert anyway, so I'm always at home or in the studio. So that part is not weird. I think it definitely allows things to be slowed down so that you can enjoy family, kind of be able to re-establish with other people, and also it causes rifts too. You know what I mean? Because some people's work can't get done the way it needs to be and different stuff like that, or things get put on hold. So it kind of causes a rift there, especially if you work with different artists and stuff like that, or you hands on with an artist and itineraries were set before the pandemic hit, and all of a sudden the whole business has changed. So it may be a little difficult in those areas, but for the most part, I mean, I like it. I think even it's crazy because with social distancing, you see a lot of social things happening. Like in my neighborhood, you walk outside, there are a ton of people walking and riding bikes now. I ride bike every day. So it's weird that you have the social distancing, but there's a lot of socialism going on outside in the neighborhoods and different stuff. Like right now, you can't even go in the store and buy a bike because everybody's buying bikes and walking and doing all of this kind of stuff. So it kind of made things slow down a little bit. And not really. I'm not really mad at the change that much. You know what I mean? I'm kind of waiting and really ready for the whole Corona thing to be over with, as far as the disease is concerned. But just the way of life, the way we are, it's it has a lot of benefits to it too. We're definitely not going to be going back to normal. I don't think no time soon. Some people are saying touring probably won't start until 22. So if you're looking at touring that starts in 2022, there's a big dynamic that has to be looked at. And it's ironic that we're having this conversation because I was talking to one of my publishers last week, and they were having a spike in the publisher payout because everybody's at home. And that's a very important key because a lot of artists don't own their publishing rights anymore, or they never did, or they own a real small percentage of it, and they were really depending on the touring money to offset not having ownership of their publishing or having a real small piece of it. So now that the touring is out of the way and you don't have merchandising and all of this kind of stuff has been rearranged in the industry, there's a shift to the content owners that are getting the benefits off of making the money now because there are no tours. So it's a significant change that's good and bad, just depending on your position in it. If you're a content owner and you own a majority right to your publishing, then it's a good shift for you. But if you're not a majority owner and you're only getting a small portion of your publishing, then the whole drop a mixtape and going out and doing shows is dead. So it's definitely, it's good and bad things in that whole situation. I don't know, man. I'm still trying to figure it out. Ironically enough, I'm still trying to figure that out. I feel like I've had a lot of couple of situations, not too many, but more than I want to have had, where I've been gravely misunderstood and just had some real bad situations because of being an OG and the way that I explain things and the way that I move. I think that the industry is moving so fast. When you try to pull people back and develop them more and give them more strength to get out in front of the industry, you get a lot of flack from it because everybody wants to move so fast. And when you moving fast, the business side of it tends to get diluted. Then you hear these horror stories about these big artists that come into situations and they don't own their publishing, they don't have no residual income after they're done, and the height of their career is over. There's nothing left, and it's not, and it's because it's that way because things are moving too fast for me. I feel like development still is important, but a lot of people overlook the development part of the process of the music industry now because it's just like, okay, if you get one good song, then you run out there, do you some listening parties, get the record out, do a couple of free concerts and stuff like that, and do whatever you need to do promotion wise and get the record out. and you just run the process. It's all just the process instead of it being a situation where you actually homegrowning who you are as an individual and not as a person that's in a situation that looks like everybody else's. So for me, I'm still trying to figure out how to kind of edit the way that I look at things and the way that I explain them and the way that I move so that the people now, the younger people now, can understand what it really is that I'm trying to do for them. And if I push you back, I'm doing it because I feel like we're not at the height of the process. A lot of people get out in front of records and they're not at the height of the process of their careers or their talent, and they get a fluke and get a hit and you never hear from them again. That's why. Or they'll try to keep creating the same thing over and over. That's why, because they lack development, they lack the process of training on how to make a record and what it feels like to make one, and they think that the process starts with them. It don't. The process starts with the consumer that's going to buy your record after you're done with it. We can sit in the studio and say all day that it's a hit. Oh my God, this is a hit. I just recorded a hit last night. Okay, when you put it out, if the consumer does not connect to it, then you're out of there.